Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our 6th episode of Play Like a Girl. I am your host, Laura.
Hi, guys. I'm your other co-host, Gianna, and I'm excited to say that we have another amazing guest from my hometown this week.
I know Gianna knows this girl, so I'm really excited about it. She's a collegiate hockey player, played for Boston College. She skated for Team USA, and now she's actually director of her own hockey league.
Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to say that we have Toni Ann Miano on our episode this week.
Hi, welcome to our episode.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. We're happy to have you on.
Yeah, no worries. When Gianna reached out to me, I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? I guess you don't hear it too often, too, from a girl from the Bronx playing hockey. So
That's true.
It's not as common as people think.
Yeah.
But, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, when I was thinking about my guests, I was like,
Yeah. Well, congrats on Mike being disengaged. That's awesome. Congratulations to you guys.
So let's get right into it. So our first question is, how did you get into hockey? And when did you start?
Yeah, certainly. So I started playing skating, I should say, when I was probably about 3-4 years old. I got into hockey. I played every sport growing up, really. My dad was a big hockey player himself, just a big sports family I come from. My older brother, Rocco, he was probably a true inspiration that really started me. He's probably about 4 or 5 years older than me, so I watched him. I was at the rink just as much as he was, watching his games, whether it's ice hockey or roller hockey in our local park. And my older cousins. So I was around the game, and I got to an age where I was like, Dad, why am I not out there? Why am I not skating with all of them? I was a little tomboy that always played with my cousins, and whether it was wiffle ball or ice hockey or street hockey, and I happened to be the goalie because no one else would be. So it was kind of how I was thrown into it at such an early age, and I didn't play on a team till I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. So I did a lot of really just learn to skate, learn to play, really worked on the skating aspect of it, which is probably the most important part.
Yeah. It was nice that you had your brothers there to help you too.
Certainly.
I mean, if you weren't able to join a league at a young age, you had them to kind of show you the ropes,
Yeah, exactly. And as simple as what playing in the backyard sounds like, that's probably where I really started to like the game,
Yeah.
And I think just being able to, being in a competitive environment, and a fun environment. It's definitely a very fun game too. But yeah, it definitely helped. For sure.
Yeah, I know my brother, I don't know if you guys had a hockey net in front of your house, but my brother would literally place it in front of our house and do it for hours.
Yeah. So that's one of the common things that, you always say practice at home in every sport, like in hockey. So I had a net too in my backyard, and I would set up my little workstation. It was fun. It was a good hobby. My mom actually threw it out in the last probably 2 years or something. And I haven't been back at home in years. So I'm away from home for about 5 years now. And my sister, honestly, was so distraught about it. But so something like that just has a big staple kind of in your path and career of it. Mm-hmm.
So do you think you had that same passion for hockey going through high school and everything, knowing you wanted to play in college?
Yeah, it was definitely something as I got older. It's when you're a kid, you're just a kid playing a sport, because you love it. It's fun. You're with your friends or your family. You can really bring your friends and your family into something. It's fun. You don't think about it I can do this or I can do that. When I was way young, I really started thinking about it as a really career path, I should say, or just something I wanted to really take to the next level when I was in high school, I would say. and I played, the biggest thing for me was I played with boys my whole life, so I didn't know what that next level was. I didn't know what was the potential opportunity for a female athlete in the sport, so there's some kind of, I think, where I played against girls here and there, but it wasn't a norm, I should say.
Wait, so you didn't have a high school hockey team?
No.
I did not, no. Let me back up. So I went to my freshman year, it's a little complicated. My freshman year, I went to Maria Regina High School, which is a local private Catholic school in Westchester, actually. And then I was recruited to attend the Hockey Academy, which is North American Hockey Academy. So it was only a 5-month program, though. So I would start at my Catholic school back at home. Then I would basically transfer into my Hockey Academy for 5 months from October through March, basically the hockey season. Mm-hmm. And then I would actually finish out our year, and then I would transfer back into Maria Regina for the spring. So, yes, I had to go chase the hockey. So
you did,
yeah. So that was probably one of the biggest, just a hockey girl in the Bronx, where there weren't resources, there weren't programs that were, well developed and that really challenged me at home. So that was probably one of the big, like when I did play at home, I played in New Jersey. So it was always, you had to go to it.
That shows how much you really cared about it and was really wanted to improve on it too,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Maria Regina ever give you because I know when I had competitions for speaking, my school that I went to Catholic
Yeah, I'm losing a little bit, Gianna. You're going kind of in and out.
Yeah, I didn't hear you too well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaker's in and out.
Did Maria Regina ever give you any trouble when you told them you were going away? Because I know when I had competitions for skating, my school president was like, "Oh, you're going away for that long? Are you gonna keep up with anything?"
Yeah, and I hear you. I mean, it definitely was different. Not every I did go to Maria Regina full time as a freshman, and my sister was also a grade above me, so. I played every sport there. So did my sister. So I would say we were known in the school. So we definitely had a relationship with our teachers, our staff, and the principal. But yeah, it was a big deal though to get approved because obviously I was enrolled in their school. I played all their sports, so I took a position in their programs. And then I would basically leave for 5 months. So it definitely was unique, I should say. And my teachers had to be very supportive, because I basically still continued the classes that I was enrolled in at Maria. I think the biggest thing was the communication between myself and the teachers, and even my friends. They really helped me kind of get through it. Because when I came back in March, I jumped back into it, and I had to take exams and finals. So it was a process. It was.
You think it was all worth it?
I do, yeah. Definitely was. I mean, for me, the biggest thing why I went to NAHA was to develop and to be challenged and to make kind of these connections and to play in college. So the academy it's basically a college. It develops you to play Division I, Division III.
Kind of like a junior college, like a JUCO. Yeah.
So exactly like a juniors for boys, more so. Yeah, exactly that. The girls came from all over the country, so that was really cool. And I had, a roommate from Alaska. I mean, not every day do you.
That's sick.
Yeah, so it definitely, if it wasn't for that, if I didn't go there, I wouldn't have been able to achieve what I've achieved. I believe that. And probably end up at BC. So I'm very thankful for that.
Well, you definitely had to put in the work to get there.
Yeah. Hey, there's no easy.
On that note, let us just have a quick commercial, and then when we come back, we'll get right to BC and Team USA, all that.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All righty. See you soon. And we are back. Thank you guys for staying during that commercial. We are talking with our guests, and now we're going to get on the topic of college.
Yeah.
How was that for you? How was getting into playing now fully with females and on a team with everything, you know?
Yeah. College hockey was probably the best hockey, you know, just the atmosphere, the excitement for the women's game, I would say. I think I was definitely an adjustment just playing high school and then moving on to the collegiate level. You're playing against the best girls in Canada, U.S., European, like all of them come to the U.S. to play, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was definitely felt like I was more prepared just because of my schedule at my academy. Really kind of trained us in how to manage your time, how to prepare for long road trips, how to prepare for, you know, practicing every day and games. So I definitely felt like I had a pretty good taste of it, but everything was an adjustment, you know. So yeah, going to Boston College, I absolutely loved my 4 years. I go back to redo it. And playing at that level, they really make it special, I should say, and really treat you like, you know, you're elite athletes.
Yeah, you are. You are. You get treated like that too. I mean, you guys are the entertainment, you're the talent, so.
And huge. It's huge at BC.
It is, yeah. So BC is pretty good, known for a very strong like men's and women's program. We had a pretty good run in my 4 years. We advanced to the Frozen Four 3 times, so it was
nice.
Right, yeah, all long and excitement, different journeys that we got there, but yeah, it was, you know, kind of really lived it to the fullest, you know, and the Bean Pots being in Boston, that's a big championship for us that we were able to win a couple of times. So yeah, it's exciting playing in the Beantown for sure.
I was honestly going to ask what was your favorite memory, but it seems like you have so many.
That's the same thing.
Oh, really?
My favorite memory from BC had to be the Bean Pot Championship game my senior year.
Yeah. How could it not be?
Yeah, I know.
Your senior year, I mean.
Yeah, and because we won in overtime too against Boston University.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and I had the game-winning goal too, so that was exciting for me.
Okay, how could it not be your favorite memory?
Yeah, and we won it at home too. So you only play at your home facility, you know, 1 out of the 4 years.
Yeah.
So it was great to win it at home, being my senior year, and also an overtime game. So it was awesome. Yeah, definitely a favorite memory. Well, yeah, one of them, I should say. Yeah.
For sure.
What would you say your favorite state or country was that you got to travel to for hockey?
Favorite state or country? That's a good question.
Because I know Michael went to Canada all the time when he came back.
I know. It's like, and I'm trying to think of not my original spot.
Canada's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I did go to Finland 1 year over the summer, actually.
Wow.
That was cool. I mean, it's something you would never just go, you know, like.
Yeah.
I did go to Finland for a USA hockey camp, actually. So it's cool. You know, it's good to see, you know, different, like not the US, you know, and just different cultures and how, you know.
Was the game played differently? Was it different rules?
No, it's all the same. Yeah,
all the same.
It's all the same. The event I actually went to there was like they picked, I think, 5 or so girls from their respected country. So we kind of mingled, and we're on a team of like 6 or so, you know, different countries. So it was really, it was cool. So you get to kind of see different customs and cultures of all these surrounding, you know, countries. So that was a different, I would say, and unique place and trip that I went on. Other than that, it's the usual, you know, Canada, Boston, Mass, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never a tropical place, unfortunately.
I mean, it's cool that you get to travel with your sport, but it's funny you get to travel everywhere that's cold.
Yeah, exactly, and like
nowhere else.
It's like, can anyone do something like Aruba?
Exactly.
Maybe in the future go to like Aruba or something.
Well, it's funny because like now, so I coach at the hockey academy. I don't know if you guys knew that. So the school that I went to, I'm now the director of it. So we just got asked actually to attend a tournament in Florida, and I'm like, I'm in. Like, no, I don't care who's going. Like, we're in.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Florida. I went to Florida for a couple competitions. You might be at the same arena. I don't remember the name of it, but it's huge. But the competitions in Florida were so nice because it's like once you leave the arena, you're like, all right, time to go. Time
off. Give me the 7 a.m. game. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, how is being a director different than playing? Are you enjoying it? Was it a smooth transition?
Yeah, that's a great question, honestly. I absolutely love it. I mean, I like a lot of my obviously friends like played hockey with me, or and it's coaching in general is not for everyone. Like if you be the best player, but you don't want to be bothered coaching it, or So I'm being a director of NAHA. I am totally invested in the program. I think solely just because I went there, So I went through the ropes. I know what worked. I know what didn't work. I know the obstacles as a player in the program and the long road trips. So, and to be able to, so basically the program moved from Stowe, Vermont to Massachusetts this last year. So it was my first year taking it over and in Massachusetts. So I was able to basically take the program, modernize it, and really spin it into what a elite academy and should be in 2020, and to kind of what, the back end of beautiful facilities and things like that we're able to give to these girls. So it's a lot of work. It's definitely busy. It's, nothing I didn't know I was signing up for. It's funny you ask because I feel like so my staff that I've hired are all former BC players as well. So
oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's fun for us to come on, puppy over here. It's fun to us to just literally full circle, and to really give the girls what we had or what we even wish we had. There are things that we were like, shoot, that I wish I had that. Let's give it to the next generation.
I think it's also good for the girls too, because it was always good when I saw alumni come back.
Yeah,
I think that's reassuring to the students as well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of and I was pretty invested in the program as an alum too. So this kind of slid into this position. But yeah, it's hard to keep the alums connected though. Think about it, like where everyone's so busy doing their profession, and it's something that we strongly are focusing on now because we have that energy, we have that time to do it. It really does make a difference. Like we've had
for sure.
Yeah, and we've had alums write letters to our seniors, or
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, there's tons of ways to get creative, but it definitely makes a difference on the current kids, I should say.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I know Gianna has her last question, but I just wanted to say really quickly, it seems like this interview, you're on our show, it seems like you've hustled for like what you've got. You know what I'm saying? You have not stopped working since you were young. You're traveling hours to just play this sport. Now you're teaching it. I'm super impressed with how hard you've worked, and like it totally paid off. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I appreciate that. I do. It's definitely not easy. There's definitely times where you're like, all right, it's another day at the rink, or another day, like today I had to clean out the locker rooms and put apparel together. Like took 6 hours to do, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
But you gotta love what you do, though, in anything, really. Fully invested.
So before I ask my last question, I kind of want to go back to the National Women's Hockey League for a second, and actually, like when you were trying out for Team USA, because I'm kind of like in my head comparing it to the movie Miracle and their tryouts. Was it identical to their tryouts, or was it different? Were there like thousands of people? Like how many? Like what was the whole process?
Well, just trying out for any USA team, it's always a process. We had events, August, December, April, like they're really year round. So it's not as cutthroat, I would say, as Miracle, where they just.
I hope not.
No. Great movie. But you're constantly performing. You're constantly trying to be on that next roster and that next team or the next camp. Like I've, fortunate to be at a couple of their camps, and you never know. You just keep doing, but you're trying to do better. And because there's your coach is going to tell you one thing when obviously you're at your program, and now you're against the best girls in the country. So you just really got to show up, perform, and put everything into it.
I feel like if I showed up to a Team USA tryout, I would be so nervous. My heart would probably be racing like 100.
It's definitely nerve-wracking. Like I remember when I made my first series team, so we're playing against Canada in Lake Placid, and it was my first first event, and I was standing on the blue line. They started playing the national anthem. I'm like, oh my god, how am I gonna play right now? It was just so many emotions kind of hit you that you're wearing the USA jersey, you're on the blue line with the national anthem, and now I gotta go play against Canadians. Like what? So it's
That's awesome.
Definitely a lot of emotions, but it's exciting. It's a dream to kind of be at that level and to play there. So yeah.
Lake Placid is the place to be. I wish I lived there. It's so nice. I love going there for hockey games too. Whenever Michael was playing, I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's a beautiful location.
Okay. So, going back to my last question, our podcast is called Play Like a Girl. And I know you kind of touched into a little bit when you're talking about being a director now, but what do you think it means to play like a girl, and how would you explain it to the younger generations, why it's so important?
Yeah, that's a loaded question for you. The Play Like a Girl is, it's been a huge movement, I would say, in the last years, and it's awesome you guys are even, doing this, recognizing athletes and, just talking about it, because I'm sure, there's little girls either watching this or seeing even the Play Like a Girl, phrase on, all these social media platforms. Play like a girl to me means, play as an athlete almost. Obviously you are female, so okay, it's play like a boy. I kind of compare it. You are a female.
Advantage.
Yeah. And, yeah. So I think the advice I can give to younger girls in the game, or even honestly coaches, younger coaches, is to do what you do and love what you do, I should say, and have fun doing it. If you want something, go for it. It's the only way you're going to get anything in life, really. And just kind of have that passion and have that grit, and don't be scared to take the guys out.
You're a perfect example of it. If you want something, go for it. Look at where you are right now. You're literally living in Boston.
Yeah.
No. Do you miss New York at all?
Do you miss
I live probably 2-3 blocks from Jana, so she knows. I come from a big Italian family like her, so it's, I miss the Sunday dinners. I miss sitting around the table just kind of talking. And
wow, we all can relate on that one.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I know you mentioned Toni Ann wiffle ball earlier in the podcast. Yeah. Have you ever? I don't know if you guys ever played on my corner, but literally our wiffle ball, you ever come to us? It's literally for. We have this set up at my house, Laura.
I should come.
Definitely miss it. Make sure I get home here and there.
Thank you for coming on. It's really great guest you were.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me again. I wish you guys the best. What you both are doing is awesome. Your company. So, keep it going, blast it out there, and it's awesome. So thank you again for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. Have a good night, ladies.
Bye. She's cool. I say this every time. Every time they're so cool to me.
Well, yeah, she's amazing.
Okay. Call me ignorant, but I totally didn't realize that playing hockey is difficult when you live in the Bronx.
No.
I just totally forgot. I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, because there's not a lot where me and her are from. You have to travel to get to a good rink, and the ones that are 30 minutes away they don't have the best hockey program. So if you want to get into a good one, she said, she was in Jersey all the time. They have the best programs up there. So if you're from the Bronx, you got to travel so much.
Wow. She clearly hustled. Literally. She's been hustling.
Mm-hmm. When I was younger, the biggest memory I have from playing, I didn't play hockey, but my brother my dad would literally take the seats at the back of the minivan, and my brother and his teammates would go in the back, and they would just drive around for hours because they always had to go to their tournaments or whatever.
Yeah. It's like AAU. I mean, if the kid wants to do it, they want to improve, then they will, you know?
But also, I remember being younger and my mom being like, "Did you hear about Toni Ann? Read this article," because she's older than me. And I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I mean, she's like a little town star.
Yeah, she is.
Well, she's much better than a town star, but at that moment, she was like the town star.
I mean,
That's super cool.
You don't hear about a lot of successful women hockey players from the Bronx. So honestly,
that's true. That's like so random.
But you have to see her play. She's amazing.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. I should look at one of her old BC games now that why shouldn't I?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in for our 6th episode of Play Like a Girl. And we will see you next Monday at 8 p.m.
Make sure you guys all
know. What, Gianna?
Make sure you guys tune in because we have another amazing guest like every episode.
Like every episode. As you all know, this is the podcast called Play Like a Girl. Oh my God, Play Like a Girl.
For the girls.
See you next time, guys. Bye.